building permits. Did you sign those?
Luckily, none of you in the audience need to see me larger than life tonight.
Welcome, everyone. Happy New Year. We're going to start tonight with the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I am going to hand it over to Bob, who has some words about a dear resident who has recently departed.
So as a lot of people probably remember, Ken Christensen was a member of the Select Board for a significant period of time. He was, I think, in office from 2007 or 3. It was forever. He was here forever. He was a fixture. Last year, he moved to be out with his daughter out in Wisconsin with his wife, Ellen. And I'd like to express my sincere condolences to them, and I'd like to take a moment of silence in recognition of his efforts. So if we could take 10 seconds or so, that would be great. Okay, thank you. He was 84 years young, and he passed away on the 28th due to some a heart condition. So we'll move on.
Thank you.
Great guy.
Yeah. Thank you. So for the agenda tonight, we'll start with the consent agenda, which includes public minutes from December 30th, 2025. There were checks as part of the rec manifest. There was also building permits as well. We need to.
Daphne went.
Yeah, okay. Hopefully we can keep going.
Yeah, just so everyone that's on video land understands, we had a gas investigation being done by the fire department, so that's why we're all kind of watching the fire department to see if we have to get up and go somewhere.
Thank you. So I'll take a motion to accept the consent agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And we have the payroll register from January 6, 2026. Get used to saying that. Where we had payroll of $38,022, payroll taxes of $9,063. We had accounts payable in the amount of $26,551 without any payments for this week to Swayze, the co-op, or the retirement system. So I will take a motion to accept.
Question.
Yes.
Was that all 25 budget payments, or was any of that 26 budget payment?
It's primarily 25, well, the bulk of the checks were 25, but 26 was the 12,000, I believe. They were broken down here into two different ones. I believe the 2026 one was the 12,926, and the 2025 was the 13,624.90.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any sense for how many more weeks 25 is going to stay open?
I gave them until next week.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, do that.
So do you need a motion for that?
Yes, I thought we had a motion,
No.
but no. Okay.
Motion.
Yep, thank you.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Next on the agenda, I do want to introduce Nick Lawrence, who I had mentioned in previous meetings, who is our new recreation director. Nick is part of a team that I'm very proud of, here at Brentwood in terms of the positions that we've filled over the last several months to to make this, I think, one of the real functioning staffs and teams in a real positive direction. So, Nick, come on up and
Turn around and wave at the
introduce
camera.
yourself and say hello, and maybe you can say a few words in terms of where you see the rec department going.
If you push the red button.
Yeah.
The circle, it will
Turns
turn
your
red. There you
microphone.
go.
Oh, there we go. Can you hear me? Okay, perfect.
It's really for the people who are listening out on YouTube land. Yes, right.
So thank you for the introduction. Again, Nick Lawrence, new Recreation Director for the Town of Brentwood. Very excited to be here, thrilled to get to work. Really, I don't have a huge speech or anything like that, but I will say, I'm coming from, 10 years in the field already. I bring a lot of, passion and dedication for sports, parks and recreation, and I'm just excited to be here and get going. So with that said, main goal, deliver value to the people of the community. It's first and foremost all the time. Our door's always open. So, if you have suggestions or comments, please come down and see us.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think we have a real robust program, here that you'll find, and especially a lot of cars and bustle, especially when the weather gets nice and people are playing soccer and softball. And I like to ump the adult softball league, so I get to call balls and strikes.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Welcome aboard, Nick. Thank you.
Thank you all. I appreciate it.
If you want to avoid the fire department, that door. That's the exit door.
Okay, moving right along. Okay, so we have tonight with us Kevin Lean from KRT. The reason why I thought it was important to have Kevin in to speak with us is because, as many of us received the postcards about the post reevaluation inspections, I think we have some obligation here to get a sense of how that's going to happen, what's going to happen. In fact, the contract provides that KRT will meet with town to review the project steps and data collection guidelines. So we want to, get a good handle on when that's going to start, what the guidelines are, what the project steps are, and then also to the extent that that may also fit in with a recent tax decision that had come down with regard to Hampton's reevaluation in December, which I thought was significant because one of the points that was made in that decision was the significance of doing this type of data collection in order to make sure that we're doing our due diligence as a town in terms of properly assessing and valuing the particular properties. So I don't know if you've had a chance to review that, but yep, I'm sorry? You have not, or?
Been on vacations.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Well, welcome back.
Yes.
Thank you.
Anyways, it was an interesting decision, and I think it lends some significance, in my opinion, to what we're doing here. So if you could kind of run us through what to expect moving forward, that would be great.
Sure. I always like to say a fair assessment is based on accurate data. So the best way to get a fair assessment of a property is to measure the exterior of the property and inspect the interior of the property. Ultimately, we're after fair and equitable assessments, and the best way to do that is to see the interior and exterior of the property. We understand that some people, particularly after 9/11, we used to have an entry rate prior to 9/11 of about 95%. And after that, the dynamic changed, and, you know, some people don't want us to be on their property. If the property's posted, it's no trespassing, we'll respect that decision. Eventually, we'll send out a letter to them to arrange an interior inspection, but the best way to get accurate data is to measure and inspect the interior of all the properties.
So in terms of, and I'm looking at the contract where it specifically indicates that KRT was to meet with us to review the project steps and data collection guidelines. Can you go through, you know, more particularly what those steps are and what the guidelines are?
I actually don't have a set of the guidelines with me.
All right, and as far as timeline, I guess, how long do you think it's gonna take time for you guys to do your due diligence in measuring the properties, physically going out and taking a look at the properties you are looking at? And is it a sampling, or do you guys try to look at everything you possibly look at?
No, if the contract calls us to measure, inspect all the properties in the town, that's what we're going to do. I think there's about 3,300 parcels in the town, so we'll start, actually, we can't start until we have we have to have a meeting with the New Hampshire Department of Revenue Administration, so we have to, for whenever you start a reevaluation project or a data collection project, you have to have a startup meeting with a DRA rep. So we're in the process of scheduling that with the DRA rep, and during that meeting, we will go over the data collection process with them and outline what each town has their own shopping list of items they want to pick up, and we'll go through that with the DRA, and then we'll also go over with the town. So we have printed all the property record cards. That includes residential, commercial, and industrial parcels. And then we have 3 people ready to go. So once we have the startup meeting with the DRA, we'll be out to inspect all the properties. I believe we have sent out postcard to all the residents of the community just to let them know what we're doing.
So the postcards indicated, I think, you know, a time frame right after or right before the holidays, even like around in or around December. So you have a time frame now in terms of when this is going to start up?
We want to have that meeting, you know, within the next 10 days or so, if not sooner.
Okay, and then once you have the meeting, what happens?
We can proceed. We'll start out. We'll have 3 people working, so we'll have to plan which way we want to work in the town. Do we want to work north to south, east to west, or we'll just have to decide that and let the town know where we're going to start.
Are your vehicles signed, or?
Yeah.
So they're, you know, it's obvious that who you guys are? Okay. So our police department's not getting a call?
Every community we work in, we post everybody online, so people can go into krtappraisal.com and you can see who's working where.
Okay, but are there cars, do they have magnets that tell us that it's KRT?
They do. They say KRT, contract assessor.
And Rob had mentioned to me that a select board member is welcome to go to that meeting with the DRA. I didn't.
Absolutely, any town official.
Wanted to volunteer to do that, or if.
When is it?
If
Or we don't know when it is
we don't know
yet?
when it is yet.
If you could let us know, then we can.
Yeah, and then we can select who would want to go.
Sure, once we schedule a meeting, we'll notify you.
That'd be great.
I guess it's a little confusing because you sent out postcards that said you were gonna be starting, like Paul said, before the holiday, and then now we're hearing that you need to go to this meeting first, so it's delayed, we're not sure, so we don't know when.
We did have the flu bug run through the company, unfortunately, so we have been delayed.
Yes, Rob did mention that they'd had some illnesses, so
Okay.
that had delayed things.
I'm very well aware of that bug going around.
So is it just these three individuals who are going to be doing the entire project?
To start with. If we need to add more people, we will, but anyone who works in the state of New Hampshire has to have some level of certification by the New Hampshire DRA, so we just can't throw anybody in there.
So would it be prudent for Julie to post up what vehicles are gonna be coming around and their names? So that way at least the public kind of knows who's coming out.
I think probably once they have the start date, then put a whole package together instead of just trickling out information.
And with respect to the data collection guidelines, I know you said you didn't bring those, with you, but is that something that we can at least get so we can
Absolutely.
post those?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, because I think that would be important for people to see as well. And then I know Bob was asking earlier about timeline. So when do you see this going, through? If it starts up in, the latter part of this month, when do you see this going through?
I'll have to do the math on it, but, when we have that startup meeting, I think we could lay out how long it's actually going to take, barring inclement weather, obviously.
Isn't there a requirement that it's done before April 1st?
Excuse me?
Doesn't it need to be done before April 1st?
I'm not sure. I haven't read the contract.
Okay. That's when the next.
The contract says June 5th.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Of 2026?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, is that a reasonable, timeframe to expect?
Sure.
How would that work for people who have been measured before the next tax bill comes out versus after the next tax bill comes out?
I believe Adrian had said if values have changed prior to the next billing, it would be in effect as of the next billing, and if not, it would be the following billing.
Okay. That feels like a reason to try to get it all
Well,
done before we send out the next
If
tax
it's done
bill.
by June 5th, the next bills go out for July, right?
Yeah.
Oh, they go out in May, so we have to have it before May.
Yeah.
So could we spur you guys to get this done before the middle of May?
Mid-May is like when you want us to wrap it up. Is that correct?
I'd love to have you done by May 1st.
Hmm.
So if you shoot for May 1st, I'd be happy if you get it to me by May 7th.
Okay.
So express that to Rob or whoever has the powers that be.
Well, it sounds like the DRA is also
Yeah.
involved though, so.
Can you do me a favor and also take a look at that tax decision that came down involving the town of Hampton? And I want to make sure that, what you're doing is consistent with, what was set forth in that decision.
What are you talking about in the town of Hampton? Are you talking about the lawsuit they filed?
It was,
It was litigation, and I think MRI was the,
Yeah.
it wasn't
Yeah,
KRT, it was MRI, I believe.
I can give you the site to it in a moment.
Are you familiar with what we're talking about?
I'm not, so
I
I don't know
know.
if anyone watching is, so.
I know there's a former selectman in Hampton who's filed a lawsuit about the revaluation, if that's what you're referring to.
No, this wasn't just a selectman. This was various citizens who brought the matter. I can give you the site. It's from the Board of Tax and Land Appeals, in Ray, Town of Hampton, docket number 31316-25RA. And there was a complaint that was brought with regard to the municipal-wide reassessment that was brought by, I think, a group of petitioners and citizens. And there was findings by the board that there were inconsistencies and problems with regard to how that assessment was done. So I just want to make sure that we don't fall into the same trap, and that, you know, the data collection that we're doing is going to be solid.
Could you
Okay.
send that to a link to the board? I just,
Yeah, Julie can send it. We'll circulate it.
sure, thanks. Thanks.
I'll just download it to the office.
So if you could get back with the data collection guidelines and then also project steps as well,
Yes,
so we can kind of have an outline of the steps and the timeline.
sure.
Yeah, I think it's important. I'm a little disappointed. I think it's important that the next time that we meet, that you review everything ahead of time, including our contract and what Julie sends you, so that we can get some answers to the residents. I appreciate that.
Oh, okay, sir.
Yeah, speaking of the contract too, I mean, there was a $30,000 bill that was sent. I mean, in terms of payment, is the expectation that, you know, we're holding off until you guys, you know, start and get out there and meet with the DRA? I mean,
I can't speak to that.
I suspect that's
And
probably what we should do.
And I'm just going to express some, I can sense it from Jim and I think others on the board. I think my frustration is when I go to meetings, I like to be completely prepared. And this is the second time you've been in front of our board, not to beat you up a little, but I'm going to beat you up a little. You're not prepared. And if I went to a meeting and I wasn't prepared, that's a problem. So I want you to get us the information and get it back to us so that way we can tell everyone in TV land and that comes in here for the public that asks questions what the expectations are with this evaluation. And I just don't think you were prepared to answer any of the questions. You're here. I appreciate you coming. But we were hoping, I guess, to get more substance answers. And then my problem is if I'm approving a check to go out to somebody, I want to make sure that they're doing what they're obligated to do. And no offense, but when somebody tells me there was a bug and everything else, and I understand people get sick and there's vacations and everything else, one of the big things I say to everyone is we paid for a service. It's not my issue. It's a you issue. It's an issue, not an issue me. So I want to make sure that you guys are doing your due diligence, and I can understand that there's delays and everything else, but I want you to be prepared when you come here, because I know when they sent us the invoice, they wanted to get paid. And I'd like to pay things, but I want to pay for stuff that I'm getting. And I don't want to get paid for stuff that is a hypothetical of, trust us, we're going to get it done. I want to know that they're actually doing a service that we're supposed to be getting done. And all I'm getting is punting.
So can we set this up now for next week so that there's no prolonging?
Well, I'm wondering, is it possible that you're not the right person from KRT to be answering these questions for us? Sounds like maybe some of them are.
And I'm going to express frustration on that, because we did this last time when we met with you, and then we had somebody that did a teleconference because he couldn't come here, and we still didn't get any answers. It was basically punting.
My
I hate
recommendation
punting.
is that we hold on paying this invoice.
Absolutely.
And, you know, I think we need the information that I was, you know, referring to in terms of the project steps, the data collection guidelines, the meeting, you know, some commitment in terms of, you know, when this will be done by and timeline.
So can we make it for next week so that, because time is of the essence here.
Well, it'll either be next week or the week after. I know planning board is coming in next week, and we may have some other things on the agenda
I would
as
love to
well.
have planning board here when he's here,
Right, why not? Right.
because they discuss a lot of stuff that has to do with building and construction and measurements and all that other stuff. So I'd love to have them here at the same time.
Yeah, except
It-
they're coming in on the ordinances, Bob, the new ordinances. It's a little
But they're going to probably have more questions than we would.
maybe.
I just think, honestly, with
Yeah.
all due respect, that, you know, we're asking them get this done by May 1st. Time is of the essence. If we put it off 2 weeks, that's another week that they can't be working. So I would rather, even if it means a longer meeting next week, let's just get this done. You guys come back with the proper people and whatnot. It's just my suggestion, but I want to get this done and put to bed. There are a lot of people out there that are asking questions. I'm getting a lot of phone calls, a lot of texts and emails, and I don't have answers for them, and that's not right. So I'd like to see this done.
Okay. Well, maybe a long meeting, so we'll do what we can to get it on the agenda for next week. Certainly no later
Somebody,
than
you
the
think
week
somebody
following.
from KRT can do that?
Well, do you want us to have the meeting before or after we meet with the DRA?
I want you to set up the meeting with DRA ASAP, but I think we still need to have some answers to some questions. So if you can set that up, I mean, it's Tuesday. There's a week for you to set it up. If you're gonna have the meeting within 10 days, that means there's a high likelihood that you're gonna have the meeting either Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or Monday, Tuesday next week, that you'd be able to have somebody here to answer some of the questions that we've posed, not once, but twice.
And we'll have someone from the select
Yeah.
board at the DRA, meeting, so, one of us could,
Yeah.
report back to the board.
So as soon as you let us know when it's set up, then that gauges whether or not how we move forward here.
Okay.
So set
mean,
that up and then let us know, and then we'll
I
figure it
mean,
out.
we'll meet with anybody at any time, but it's just,
I just want
it's
the
the New Hampshire DRA too.
So, but you should be able to call them and, I think, get a gauge of when their schedule is looking like. I don't know how, I've never called the DRA to set up an appointment with them, so you guys have. Have you done that before? Have you met?
We
with
have to do it for every project we work on in the state
How
of
long
New
does it
Hampshire.
typically take when you make an appointment?
I don't know, I usually don't set those up.
Okay, so if you could get us the person that sets those up and has the discussions on the contracts, I think that would help a lot. We have a question from the audience?
No, I don't mind, so let's open it up. Yep, go ahead. Yeah, just come on up, though, so.
Peter Foster, 79 Prescott Road. If we were going to have this startup in December, I'm curious why did it not have a prelude or a meeting with this DRA? How were they going to start in December?
One of the questions. that we're-
Apparently not, apparently not.
Peter, that's one of the questions
Yeah.
that we were wondering too, so. Yep.
Yeah, because that was our expectation as well, but apparently there were some illnesses and things, didn't happen, so we want to understand, why this is off track, particularly before we pay any invoices. So, but it's a poignant, good question.
Liz Rio South Road, I don't know if this is on.
It is, yep.
I don't understand how you have the reevaluation or reassessment, or whatever you call it, before you have the inspection. How do you have
I can answer.
a $200,000 increase in my property when you have the inspection? Just wondering.
I could answer it.
Right, it's a good
Do
question.
you want me to answer it? And this is just based on conversations that I had with Adrian, who's the assessor, because I had that same question. They're going off of the current records that we have, which is from the last time that you did this, which was in 2020, I believe. So they're taking those records of what it says your house is, the size, the dimensions, the features, bathrooms, bedrooms, all of those things. And then they are applying basically a table that says how much each of those things is worth.
With a sales approach, correct, in terms of
Statistical.
Statistical. So that
sales approach.
was the part that just happened, is they looked at statistically, you looked at, I think, the last 18 months of sales, or there is some,
You want to address that, Kevin, if you can?
Yeah, we did a statistical update. A statistical update is we just review the sales, inspect the sale properties, and then we field review all the properties in town, update the building land schedules and depreciation schedules, and then we send out notices, and then we hold informal hearings and turn the project back over to the town.
Yeah, I mean, Liz, it's a good question, and I think, it's a question we've all had, and it's one that, you know, at least under that contract, it had the statistical, you know, approach occurring in the first instance for purposes of the reevaluation, and then doing this post reevaluation data collection next. Would that have been the way I would have done it? But, you know, here we are, and it needs to be done, in my opinion, based on the pending, you know, precedent.
What is the total amount?
Well, I think the current amount that we have for these inspections, I think is 60,000, but we would
with
pay
30,000
30,000 now, 30,000 after it's done.
I,
You're asking for the total contract, but I think Bob was speaking to
The inspection. Oh, total all in? I think it's probably is 125, right?
more than that.
Pull it
Is
up.
that all to KRT?
Yes.
Yep. They're the approved appraiser, I think, from the state, right?
No, so we did an RFP process.
Okay.
If I recall correctly, part of the reason why it's happening this order is because we did that RFP process late,
Oh, okay.
and so they were unable to.
And when you say "we," who do you mean by "we"?
The town,
Okay, but the select board?
the select board, the town administrator, the
The previous,
the
the
govern-
previous select board, not this select board. I don't remember hiring this select
the governing body.
at the time, which was last year.
No,
How long ago?
It was April.
it was this year.
It was March of 2025, early March.
Okay.
So it was before this board, right before this
Gotcha.
board was seated. And you could, you know, without going into the actual amounts, Liz, you're more than welcome to take a look at the contract, the pricing, and the contract is set forth. Find it. It's up above. Here we go, yeah. Liz, you can find the compensation at 2.7 in the contract, so you're more than welcome to take a look at it. In fact, it's the total sum of 155,000. That's inclusive of the 60,000 for the data, post-evaluation data collection. Correct, 155. Yep.
But if they did an RF, you know, if they put it out for bid, I'm assuming that was the best bid that they went with.
May have been
Was
the only bid. May have been the only bid, yeah.
Victim of circumstance then at that point.
Well, but it was also it was in line with what we had, because this is one of the things that we save up for 5 years.
Yeah, we have a capital.
Yep,
reserve, right?
so it was in line with that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Kevin. Have a good week.
You too, thank you.
Was there any other questions from the public? Or comments? Yep, go ahead.
Jim Hasher, Budget Committee. I just was going to say, like, I hope you definitely should take a look at this. It's from as the chair was saying, the Board of Tax and Land Appeals, a 43-page report where they go through Hampton, and they're actually having a hearing on February 11th where they probably are going to issue a reassessment order because the statistical reevaluation that was done in Hampton had all kinds of problems. Now, I've been out there publicly because people have asked me online as well as calling, right, saying, no, we did not use that company. We did a statistical reval. This company, they came and told us that you don't need to do actual on-site revaluations every 5 years. That's silly. You don't need to do that. And the state does allow, DRA allows statistical reevaluations because it is effective and it works. So my concern is, as everybody, I was hoping he would get up here and say, we did the statistical reevaluation properly, per the law, per the procedures and processes that the state has set up. And then I would really question him on, why did you sell me a bill of goods where you do a really good statistical revaluation and then a a month later, you're gonna send people out to do an on-site. Like, why wouldn't we wait? We don't have to do another reval for 5 years. Why don't we just wait? But again, I understand you have a contract, but if he's not living up to the contract, maybe we just get rid of this data collection until.
He is living, that is part of the contract.
Well, not only Jim is a part of the contract, but I'm also concerned that given, this case, it's something
Yeah.
that we have due diligence that we
Okay.
need to do in order to be compliant.
Yeah, makes sense. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Because I'd rather be compliant than having to pay for another valuation next year.
I'd also like to add, I'm a resident of Hampton, and I think one of the issues there is I don't think they've done a full measuring list in Hampton in a long time. I want to reiterate, for the 2020 reval, we did the revaluation here on Patriot Software, full revaluation, measured, listed all the properties, went through an audit and everything. We had no issues. We had no BTLA cases. There were 15 abatements. I did them all. So we were very thorough on that last, in the 2020 revaluation. There were no issues with the data. DRA reviewed it. They issued a report. So I just want to make that clear.
And what's,
We're talking about the integrity of the company here and this and that, and the data is but
but
we,
you guys didn't do Hampton, right?
no, I'm just saying, I'm a resident of Hampton.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm in the industry. I've lived there forever. I'm just saying, they haven't done a full measuring list there in a long time. That's all.
I know I had a lot of questions about the statistical versus the measuring list, and the way that Adrian explained to me that was helpful is the statistical part is almost like a menu, right? Where you come up with how much each of these things are worth, and the measuring list tells you kind of what each house has in it. So if one of them is really accurate, that's great, but if the other one is not, it's not really helpful. And so I think that's kind of what you're speaking to, that you did the measuring list in 2020, so the records that we have for what's in each person's house should be pretty accurate, give or take. And now we've just updated that list of what each of those features is worth. And so now we're just going to verify again, going back to the records.
The other thing too is you're going from Patriot to Avatar. It's two different systems. So Avatar, I would just say, is not as sophisticated as what's in Patriot. So not everything comes over. I mean, we did take on the project for the town on a tight timeline. We basically got it done, but we couldn't fix everything because we didn't have control over the conversion. We don't do the conversion. That's something else. But I feel like we did the best we could. Once we go out and do the data collection, there are some items we have to correct.
And I do know there was some issues with the conversion, right? Right?
Yeah, there's a couple issues.
We just need the answers that we were questioning about earlier, so people, can know and what to expect in terms of, the project steps, the guidelines, the time frame. We want to know that. So,
Okay.
great. Perfect.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Unless there is any other comment on that? Daphne?
Yes.
Of course.
I didn't do yoga last night and I'm dying. I woke up this morning and I hurt myself in my sleep. Or maybe my wife was hitting me, I'm not sure.
Okay, so Adrian gave me, we've been working on the abatements, and I just have the rest of them here so that I can close out 2025. Do you want me to go through each of them and tell you why? Okay.
Please.
So the first one was because a veteran credit did not carry over. So it's $750. This is the only one.
The only veterans one?
That's the only veteran one.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Second.
The second one,
Do you want to vote?
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. I don't know if anyone wants to pass it around for signature. Pass it back to me.
this one was on the property was subdivided and there was a confusion with street addresses, map and lot numbers, which caused the payment that was applied to the first bill not to show up on the second bill. So we're just abating that amount that had been paid just to clean up the software.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Do we have to sign anything?
We gotta give it back to Paul.
Is there anything, I thought granted.
Yeah, pass them back when you,
Okay.
with the signatures. Thanks.
Ooh. Okay, this one, it was 6 acres of land was taken out of current use in '24, and the acreage was not updated in the assessing program. There was still 1.605 acres as single family. All land is currently in current use. So this is the revised tax bill, because it was in current use. So it's just to clean up what should not have been charged to them.
Is that something that we
They are.
have a system so that doesn't happen again moving forward?
Oh, we are working on that, absolutely.
Great.
We have a motion?
Motion.
Okay.
Second.
It is, do you want to, any information on that you want to reference?
Uh,
I mean,
This is one, no, this is one that we are also talking about having to do with something else.
Right. This pertains to River Run.
So is this gonna impact the other conversations we're having about current use?
So,
Because this is specific for a dwelling, right?
well, no, this is an abatement that I understand that it was a acre that was not taken out of.
They got charged an amount of money and should not have,
Right.
Okay.
so we have to abate it.
Right. So, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
This is the Eversource bill again. The amount to credit was because of a data conversion error. They should not have been charged the state education tax as they pay it directly to the state. They have 2 other parcels. This one always, for some reason, in the old system, kept popping it back on every single time. And I believe Adrian's fixed it now. So that is just
And-
that amount.
And that money, just so we're clear, always goes to the state, just like if you guys collect it, it still goes to the state.
They'll get it somehow, absolutely. And no other town charges them either. I did call around.
Motion?
Yeah. So
Second.
$653 credit. Yep.
No, that's fine. I guess if I didn't want to pay the state education tax and I wanted to pay it directly to the state, could I do that too?
No.
Why does Eversource get to?
Maybe because they're a utility, I have no
Okay.
idea. Yeah,
But they do that historically for all the towns that you checked into?
yes.
I guess the question would maybe be for Julie, do we get a check from the state at some point that covers these payments from Eversource?
My understanding from state funds is once it goes to them, it's up to them to distribute where it goes. We would have no control over that. It's a state tax, so when you collect the money goes to the state.
It does-
eventually.
Yeah,
stays-
we're not policing it.
It
I
stays
mean,
here, so the state education portion of your tax bill stays here. Doesn't go to the state. It stays here to offset.
I thought there was that doesn't make sense, because then we would just pay it under locally and the state wouldn't get involved.
Yes, that is why it is unfair that the state claims it as what they are contributing towards education.
Yeah, but there is I thought there is a state portion of the tax that comes back. It's modest.
It stays here. It never leaves. So I guess that's the question that I'm asking, is that I want to make sure we're getting.
we have never charged them for it.
Oh,
So as
that's
far as not police, like, I'm not gonna police what they do. If they're telling us that they are paying it directly, I certainly will wait for an email, because I do have an email out to them,
okay.
so they can prove to me that they're paying, but I don't know that that's necessary.
But then we just wouldn't be sending it, we wouldn't be paying to the state on their behalf, because you're not collecting it. So you
We're
don't
not
collect it, you
collecting
don't
it.
dish it out.
Exactly.
Okay.
$653 credit abatement for Eversource.
Motion.
Motion and a second.
Aye.
All in favor?
I'm actually
Aye.
gonna say no
Aye.
on this one.
Aye.
Letty's a no.
I am, just because I don't
Okay.
understand.
There were eyes on the other ones, just so you know, while you were gone.
Pass it.
Okay.
Any others?
Yep, I have two more. So this one is a single-family detached condominium that was determined to be 40% complete on 4/1/25 based on a visit by the assessor on 4/7/25. The parcel was taxed as being 100% complete. So this is the amount to be abated, that it should have only been 40%. Do you need to look it up?
Motion.
So, based on the abatement of 60% with a credit of 2638.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Last one, this is a parent parcel for a new subdivision. The land had been separated out into lots, and this parcel should not have received a tax bill. It's $84.50.
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Are we good? Okay.
No, did my pen just die? Thanks. Thanks. My bullet-
Good luck on tomorrow's yoga. Good luck on tomorrow's yoga.
I get to wait till Monday.
I want to steal the pen.
Plenty of time to recoup.
Get you a lesson with my daughter, who's a yoga teacher. All right. We have two budgets. I think, are these our last?
Well,
Okay.
I wanted to.
Our final budgets,
there's-
yeah.
yeah.
Before that, though, I know you had a motion. So
Okay.
I'll yield over to you, Bob.
All right, so I wanted to make a motion to reopen the insurance benefits line, that budget, because we actually over approved. Some employees were getting, we have to do a correction because it was calculated that there was a difference. So some people were getting 2,000, some were getting 1,300. They were getting $25 a week is what it's in the employee handbook. And there was two that were put in for $2,000 credits.
Yeah.
They should really be $1,300 credit because that's what it says.
I'll
In our
second
handbook.
that.
I think the library, is that what you were gonna say?
The library they're still governed by our employee handbook. If the library trustees want to give extra, if they're doing the 2,000, so it's an extra $700 for employees,
Mm-hmm.
they have their own budget too that they deal with the friends and their money and stuff like that. They're more than welcome
How
to
does
do
that
that.
work
but
in terms of payroll, though?
we wouldn't be, that they would have to figure out how to put the money back to us from wherever, how they're doing it. We wouldn't be approving to go against the policy handbook.
It's not a payroll issue, is it? I mean, it's just a specific amount outside of payroll that ends up getting
It's a compensation.
issued.
Yeah, I mean, the in lieu of insurance goes through the payroll, but, yeah, like.
We're
obviously they can
approving
reimburse us
something,
if they-
yeah. If they want to pay more, that's up to them.
So I think what happened is that there were 4 employees, correct? 2 were at the rate that we have set at $25 an hour.
$25 a week, which is
$25
$1,300 for
Yeah.
the year.
Right. And then there were 2 that were at the higher rate, so we're just trying to make it
Uniform.
consistent, and it would be a difference of $1,400 on that particular line. So
Right.
$1,400 reduction.
So I'm making a motion that we change the insurance benefits to $519,254, which takes that reduction and puts it to the $5,200. under that specific line. It corrects it by that $1,400 delta that we had.
Did you tell the library trustees about this?
And I'll second that motion.
Well, we're basically going through and approving the benefit budget. If they want to pay more, that's up to them.
No, that's fine. This is the first I'm hearing about it. It was not in our packet. Wasn't like, so I would like to hear their perspective on it.
Okay. I mean, to me, it's just, for me, it was math, right? So if I know I got $1,300, 1,300 times 4 comes to a certain dollar amount. How was it off? So that's a reason that we would pose that question.
And I don't believe the library employees are subject to the town handbook.
Yeah, they have their own deal, so.
Well, you said that they were subject to the town.
Well, if
Wouldn't
we've
they?
agreed to $25 a week and they want to go in a different direction, that is on them, not on us. We can't control that
No,
aspect.
but that's, I guess that's my question, and that's
Mhm.
why I would be curious to hear what the library trustees have to say, because my understanding is that their payroll comes through us as a
Courtesy.
courtesy.
Right. But I think we're budgeting for that amount. And then if, there's $1,400 that they would, otherwise have where they want to go beyond that, is within their realm. Am I understanding that correctly, Andy?
The select board has the right to set the library budget. We just can't tell them how to spend it.
Right.
So, do you have an issue or concern with regard to that? As Bob outlined it?
I mean, this is something that we're calculating as a benefit for them not taking insurance.
My only issue and concern is we didn't give them the opportunity to
Correct it?
present.
Can we hold this till next week, Bob? Give an opportunity to present?
I mean, they can, but I'm still going to be making a motion to correct the budget.
Sure, but it's possible that they might want to reopen their budget. I think it's only fair that we ask the department head to, if we have a problem with their budget, that we let them know.
Yeah, I mean, that's,
Well, it's not their budget.
it's not, it's
actually
not in their
our-
budget, it's in our
actually
budget.
But
Well,
So library money, and I'm looking at you because you're the library rep, we give them money and then they can spend it however they want.
Right, but this is benefits. So this is not part of their budget. This is
It-
part of our benefits budget.
It is part of their budget in the same way that their salary line is part of their budget, even though it's not part of their quarterly transfer.
but if we give a certain amount to each employee, how is it wrong, or we want to make it consistent?
it's part of our insurance
It's
budget.
Correct.
So I mean, if they come back next week and they want to tell me why I'm wrong, but then my other concern is now I would have a couple other employees come in and go, well, how come I'm not getting an extra $700?
It's been like that for a while, right?
Well-
But that's the same way that their vacation and earn time schedule is different than the regular town employees. Like,
Yeah.
they follow a different set of guidelines than the rest of the town employees.
So,
Same as the school has a different,
Right. But
I understand what you're saying. I understand that whatever may be said might not change, your mind, but just from a process standpoint, it can probably wait a week at least to have, someone, here to make a presentation.
I don't have a problem with that.
Okay.
I'm more apt to say, we have a motion and a second, let's vote on it. And then if they want to reopen it and convince me otherwise, great. Other than that, I just,
well, there's a motion and a second
Stop
to
from
open the
punting.
budget.
to open the budget. So there you go. And then my next motion is going to be on that number.
It was what, $1,400? No, how many?
It drops it by $1,400 because basically two employees making $700 extra.
And that's
Can we-
specifically in lieu
Can
of
we
line.
open the budget for this, meeting tonight, and then you can make your next motion next week?
No,
Why not?
because once we open it, he can make whatever motions he wants.
Well, I understand that. I'm just making a suggestion.
I'd be willing to pause until next week if you would like, but I want to make sure that this is not a voted on budget. So I'm basically reconsidering the budget because from what we had, the information was in it. It was erroneous.
Understood. So, why don't we vote on that then? Motion to open, has been a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Nay.
Nay.
So, and then I will pause until next week, and they have the opportunity to come back and explain to me why we have to do whatever, unless you guys are comfortable with me making a motion.
So it just makes no sense to open a budget and pause it for a week.
Okay, well then,
So now you're gonna table it.
I'll make a motion to go to 519-254.
Second.
It can be reopened again next week too, unless I make a motion not to reconsider.
I don't think you can.
I can on a budget?
No. That's only town meeting.
Oh, oh, okay.
Okay, so we have a motion to,
What was that number again?
519-254.
$1,400 less.
I don't have the number in front of me. Thank
So
you.
519-254.
Thank you.
any further discussion, or have we?
Again, my
Exhausted.
position is I want to be consistent, and so I understand that if they want to do something different, if they want to find that $1,400 out of their own budget that they appropriate for, great. But as far as the benefit package budget, I want to make sure it's consistent.
Any opposing view?
I just think this discussion should have been noticed and publicized and agendized and everything else ized.
Which I think is why, we were talking about pausing this for,
Literally not
next
how
week.
it works.
Right, that's why the budget shouldn't have been opened, but
well,
you have a motion and a second, so.
yeah, so I would suggest, I think that's, we're elevating procedure over substance.
You have a motion and a second, so you have to take a vote on it.
Well,
I'm willing to withdraw my motion and table till next week if you would like me to do that. I will.
I would suggest that way, we can have someone here,
Okay.
and discuss it.
I
Go from there.
withdraw my motion, table till next week.
Have a second on the tabling?
I'll second it.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. I think everyone's an aye.
Betty?
Yeah, I said I.
We'll put this on the agenda and we'll notice it for next week. So it's out there and.
And we'll let the library
upfront.
trustees know.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah. Was there anything else?
We still have the two budgets.
Yeah, the two budgets. Was there anything else, Bob? You had your
The
finger up,
the
so-
only thing I was gonna bring up too is, I'd like to, I don't know if we wanna wait for, is it Andrea? Or how does she say it?
Adrian?
Adrian, there you go. I always mess up. Adrian. About her coming back in to talk to us about, the development off of Mill Road.
Oh, well, do we want to finish budgets first?
Yeah. why don't we
Okay,
do
so I didn't know if
budgets
we
and
were
I
gonna
think-
have that discussion.
Yeah, well, I thought there's going to be some discussion about that.
For legal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that'll be non-public for legal.
I made 4 copies. I sent these out, so it's no different than.
I have a digital one.
I
so.
figured you did, so that's what I made 4. Trying to not to waste too much paper.
Oops.
I budgeted, based on the contract that was sent, suggesting 45, it works out to 45 days at the 875. The budget last year was significantly, for this year, well, 2025 was significantly less because Jim Misha was charging quite a bit less.
Mm.
The other.
The
Jimmy.
other-
The other Jim Misha. So I basically am leaving it up to all of you, and I would give some input into whether or not 45 days
That was
are
that was my
necessary.
necessary. I was wondering if 45 days was enough.
Oh, I think it's definitely enough. When I talked to them about it, we talked about, which is what this is based on, her doing every other week in the summer months. That's where he came up with a 45.
I think, and I guess my only question is, additional days shall be invoiced as the same rate. If we, like, this time of year, I feel like she could easily be doing 2 days with people having questions about abatements and all of those things. I'm a little hesitant to say it's a hard up to with that in mind. but I didn't read through every single page to see if there's some place in here that would allow for if we wanted her to come in an extra day because there's something happening or people had extra questions.
Well, so the way the contract reads, as I understand it, is there's a minimum of 12 days, but it's up to 45 days, and it's at a per or at a daily rate of $8.75. So if you go to
2.6 is where the
thank you.
payment is.
Yes. So if you go to 2.6.1, it talks about $8.75 per day up to $39,375 per year. And I believe it's 4.5 that has a minimum of 12 days. So it's anywhere between 12 and 45 days. My thought was that 45 seemed a bit much, in my opinion.
And I think, I don't think she will be as crazy next year. I just think she's been super busy this year because of the
Backlog.
reevaluation
In the backlog that,
and the
In
backlog.
the computer system.
And the
going from
computer
one to the
system,
other.
right.
Right.
But, I mean, my concern is, I like to do things mathematically. So I take your 875, I times it times 5 days for the week, and I times that times 52 weeks in a year, it comes to $227,500. That seems like a hefty price to me. for
But that's
somebody to be an
not
appraiser.
what we're,
well, the problem is we're only paying for a piece of that, so it's a contract.
Right,
Right,
So we're not paying FICA, Medicare, health
Right.
insurance.
right. But if you do the math,
Right.
it works out to 227,000.
But where can you hire an employee that's only gonna work 5 days a year?
it's 40,
Well, we're doing
but she
45.
also has.
Well, 12 days a
certification-
year.
12,
She also
12
has certifications and experience that is not something that we can just get.
And I should add that
But you
the,
can't, what I'm trying to say is you're not comparing apples to apples.
Right.
Like, this is a person that's contracted to, at a minimum of 12 days a year. You couldn't find that at paying a normal salary.
that's true.
How many, but you're calculating for 45 days, that's how you came up with this
Up to-
budget?
It's 875 per day.
Yeah, well, the budget line is based on 45 days. I mean, my thought was that if you look at 3 days a month, times 12 months, and it doesn't have to be 3 days a month, it could be,
Right.
changed, some months are heavier than others, but that would be,
Some are maybe 1
That
or
would
2
be
days.
31.5.
Right.
yeah, so that would bring it
And with
down.
holidays often falling on Mondays,
Right.
she wouldn't be here.
I mean, that would put it at 31.5. That would be
And then,
more palatable.
yeah, I think in that $46,125 figure is also for
Right,
Yeah,
the permit
permitting
inspections.
inspections, yeah. So that's
And
about,
they base that on 150 permits at $45 per inspection,
so what was the total on that? Julie?
6,750,
So if you took that 31.5
Plus
and added,
6,750.
It's like
So it brings it
37.
38,250.
Yeah, that's.
Does that
what I had.
include current use and other,
What's that?
does that include current use and does that include other, I know or the assessor reviews, like the elderly exemptions and all of those things, is that also included in here?
Yeah, I think that's included in the 875.
Does it include mileage and everything else on her?
It doesn't say
'Cause we
anything
don't
about
pay,
additional.
we don't pay extra for that, do we? I don't know what the
No,
contract says.
no, we don't,
How long is this contract for?
a year.
1 year?
well, I mean, just to be technical, there's an initial contract coverage period between
Oh, yeah.
January of 26 through 27. There are options that run out through December of 30, but there's also a termination provision that allows for termination by either party at any time with a 60-day termination right. That's in 6.1 of the contract. It says may be terminated by the municipality or the contractor for any reason upon provision of 60 days written notice. So
I like Bob's number of 38,250 with the 36 days.
And this is they're charging us $900 a week this year, so it is a reduction.
I think my only hesitation is in terms of the cleanup that we're mentioning. It's ongoing, including right now. And so I'd be hesitant to cut this until the cleanup is done. And we have a better sense of what the typical workload would be. Especially since the data collection phase is coming up.
My thought is that we have, I would imagine, discussed this with her, and you guys
Have we?
We discussed the every other week in the summers.
yeah.
So that would be the 45.
Yeah.
So we have
And
not.
I'm comfortable with 36. I mean, there's so many holidays that fall on Mondays. There goes a chunk of the difference between,
She usually comes in on a different day though, doesn't she?
not always, but I just feel like I'm comfortable with 36.
I mean, if we,
It's going to be calming down once this abatement process is
bit,
over.
right.
And
I mean, basically, by doing the changes, it drops it from the 66,406 that you submitted over to us to 58,531. If I add up all the other columns and leave them town maps, aerials, mathematical update for $1, and the utilities at 15,000, it comes to 58,531.
can you just explain, Julie, the utilities to me for 15,000? What is that?
that's a contracted amount.
For the, okay, assessing the utilities.
Yes.
And who's the contract on that?
Oh,
Sorry, it's not a quiz.
yeah, I don't have it with me, but I looked at it today.
If you said it, it would tell
Yeah,
you
I
it
know.
was
Is
true.
it San Souci who
Yes,
does that?
yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Sounds right.
And we have a contract for them that they do all the,
Yeah.
Poll tax.
and we need that because I know there was litigation on that
Yes.
before, so. So I would make a motion for the assessing to be at 58,531.
Second.
Okay, anything further? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'm a no, just because I think we should ask them if they thought we could handle the reduction in days.
And then this contract, Julie, is that something that you need approval for us to sign at this point?
I wish.
I'll bring it next week because I wrote
On the
all of
rocks.
mine.
On the rocks.
All right. So the contract, which was part of the documents for this budget, will.
And I'll see if he wants to update it to that amount. I don't know. I can ask him.
We wouldn't have to though, right?
No.
No,
Because
Right.
correct.
we can budget for less.
Yep. All right, so we'll just bring that forward for next week as part of old business. All right, government buildings, go ahead.
The only real change here is that it had custodian wages, and we don't pay anybody wages. I just changed it to custodial services. So the wages is 0, and the custodial services is 21,240. And then I just made other changes based on actuals.
So it's a reduction?
Yeah.
I think the reason that we had paused on this one after the first time you presented it was the question that I had was, are the actuals for this year correct?
Yes.
Okay. So like I see the telephone service contract is going way down versus,
Yeah, yes, I dug out the contract, it's 1464. The actual of 2632, some of those technically could be, which I'd moved them into telephone communications.
okay.
It's not necessarily a contract amount.
Okay, so it was kind of some lines all in this budget where things moved?
Right.
Okay.
Make a motion to approve the government buildings
For the 80,206?
80,206.
Second.
Another
Is there a
question.
second?
Second.
You had another question?
I
Lenny?
did.
Okay.
So I see that the town building repairs and maintenance line, is lower than actual. Obviously, the actual was way over budget. Just wanted to make sure that those
Yeah, there was,
various maintenance lines are where they need to be.
There was a big amount spent for, or a good chunk for snow removal from the roof and then some siding that was replaced, apparently.
Is that when the leak was over there?
Yeah, I don't know what it was from, but it said that those two were the major big bills that were in there that,
So those are kind of one-offs that should not happen again.
let's hope.
And then, is that the same situation with the fire station?
Yeah, the fire station has had their septic pumped a lot this year. I don't know,
Too many donuts.
I mean, like a lot. I was surprised at how many
Uh,
times they came.
Well,
So
they,
I don't know.
their leach fields should be working, so are they knowing what they can't put down into a septic system? Because we do have, the paramedics and stuff are living there now.
That's excessive, I mean, that's still excessive, just based on what this looks like for, this
I
is,
mean,
that
typically
line
they
is
should have to.
twice what it was last year.
they
If
should
I
have to pump
remember
out the
correctly, I
building.
believe Roy is looking into this because it is a known problem over there, and yeah, they're investigating it.
I'll recognize the chair of the Budget Committee. If you had a comment on this budget.
Yeah, thank you. The only one is, I wanted to bring up on the Grange repairs and maintenance line. When we did the site walk, the chair of the Historic Society, Dexter Swayze, who is not here because he's sick, you know, I know you expended money to have a survey done of some significant repairs that are gonna need to be done on that building. And I didn't know if this line at $4,000, if it makes sense to put more money there, considering that the repairs are gonna be really expensive, okay? And I know there's ability to get grants, but you have to be able to put up half the money to get the grant. So say if he could get a grant that maxed out at $50,000 or something, you'd need $25,000 to put into that grant. And I understand that, you could do this as a warrant as well. I just want to make sure that we don't forget the Grange building because, I mean, on the site walk, and Letty, you were there, it really is it's going to be a significant project. And I think at least for the part that if we could get some of it done with grant money, but we're going to need seed money because I think what they told me was you have to have half. You have to have half on those grants.
I mean, I'm not comfortable, Jim, until we get a better handle on what it is. And then when we get a handle on what it is, then we can.
But I don't know if we will know before town meeting. And
We could,
Do we have a capital reserve?
we do have a capital reserve for maintenance of town building,
Right.
town-owned buildings, which that would apply to. I
Okay.
think.
I
and-
I don't know what the total amount is in that.
No, but
capital
we
reserve
typically would
fund.
add to that every year. So maybe when we talk about the warrant article for the amount that we add to that this year, that might be part of that
Okay.
discussion. I think, and I'm gonna look at Andy, because you were the only other one here, or I guess Paul was here too. I think these lines are supposed to just be for like regular,
Maintaining, right?
Normal.
like normal, not like a
Understood.
project
Okay.
like that.
Okay, I just want, okay, so it sounds like we would do probably a warrant if we were
Or
gonna put,
potentially, part of capital reserve.
okay, we'll look and see what's in that reserve fund. All right, thank you, Mr. Chair. Yeah.
Thank you.
Liz Faria, South Road. Does the custodial person or people, do they do all town buildings? Do they clean all town buildings?
I don't believe so.
So like who cleans the highway shed bathrooms, for example?
Highway guys.
Well-
Shit.
Huh?
Highway.
And the same would be, say, for the Grange or,
Probably.
The cleaning company does the town hall, the police department, and the rec building.
And I think that rec has somebody else.
oh,
no,
Rick is
they-
another person.
Yeah.
Oh, there's no problem.
Well,
Okay.
there is a incinerating.
Okay, so it's town hall, police, and,
Yeah, they do rec, yep.
Do they do
And
the
no
library?
fire?
or do they have-
No.
Well, they
Library.
do, but it's a separate budget.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And no fire, no,
Nope.
okay,
They have
just
live-ins?
curious.
Okay, so we have a 80,206. I think we have a motion and a second.
We do.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Any old business? Hearing none? Any?
I just have,
Oh,
actually, I
okay.
do. I just have a
Time's running out,
Hey.
Julie.
pay approval for the lieutenant we just swore in. Where did it go?
Did we do that when we hired him? No?
No, just the actual form.
Oh,
The rate of pay. Is that what it's,
also Paul just needs to sign that, right?
we all sign it.
Oh, we do? Okay.
Yeah, we should pay him.
I
Mhm.
mean,
That's
Yeah,
a,
no,
that's a
This is
high
first week.
expectation. It's volunteer.
Okay, so rate of pay confirmation form for Lieutenant Newman.
Newman.
That was pretty funny when you were on the call.
Anything else, Julie?
Nope.
Okay. Committee updates? I'll start wherever we want to go. Yeah, Bob.
We have, Jim's gonna go tomorrow with me, trying to pass the torch, I guess, for the Southeast Refuge Disposal Committee.
SRDD.
SRDD. So we're gonna, that's tomorrow at 6 o'clock in Rye, so we're gonna go to that tomorrow. I think they elect new officers and stuff like that based on all the town representation, so we'll see where that lands tomorrow. Rec, I met with Nick earlier today, so we'll have the rec commission where he gets introduced to the rec. I think that's the third Wednesday of the month is when they meet, so we'll have that. And then, other than that, I think I'm good.
Back in springtime, it was brought to the board's attention that we were having problems with the cleaning company. And I met with the owner and seems to have solved it until Daphne brought to my attention today that things are getting bad again. So I don't know if you want to check with rec to see if it's just here, if it's here, the PD and rec, and maybe, maybe we need to rebid the contract and
Is that a yearly contract or?
I don't know when the last time we actually signed a
don't
contract, so
know.
it might be an at-will
Okay.
service at this point.
Anyone else?
Yep. So we've had a busy last couple weeks here with highway and plowing and sanding and salting, and I just want to make sure that the public is aware that Wayne and his guys work very hard to make sure that the roads are clear. We can't be at every place at the same time. So people do need to be patient, but at the same time, if they do have something, I did have a couple residents reach out to me and let us know about, a road that was not plowed very well. So I did reach out to Wayne, and we went over there and made sure that it was clear. Just be patient. But if there is something that you see, feel free to reach out. You can reach out to me directly if you want, and I can get the highway department to look at it. We have been, the highway department has been hit with some illness recently as well. Illness is really going around. And so we're a little short-staffed, but we're back to normal again as far as that goes. Wayne is also working on collecting some more bids for work in the highway shed to finalize that and finish that up. We've had a couple issues with trucks being repaired. He's working on that and got that all done. So we're back to 100%. And I guess that's it as far as that goes. I would like to remind people that there is a pancake breakfast this Saturday from 9 to 11 at the rec building. The rec building. So all are welcome, and we hope everybody shows up. The pancakes are going to be good, the bacon will be crispy, and the sausages will be delightful.
That's a big promise.
I'm ready.
Andy's idea of ordering materials for the highway shed, did that end up happening?
Wayne is also working on that, yes. Yep.
When do we have to get that done?
So no.
Because there's a certain time frame, right?
Well, if
No.
it hasn't been bought already, it can't be
It's too
bought.
late.
Yeah.
So sorry, so sad. Okay.
Never mind. Close, so close.
We're still working with, who it was, I can't even think of it right off the top of my head, but we're trying to get a credit built up with
Yep.
What?
in order to pay the bill. I mean, we have to get an account set up in order to get the materials delivered.
But it'll be on the.
So the answer is no.
Right.
Okay,
With the vendor.
okay. That was the part I was confused by.
Planning board, I know we have work session tomorrow. Yep, yep, is there a meeting Thursday as well? Okay. Anything else that you wanted to mention with regard to planning board, Mr. Finney?
Doug Brennan, Planning Board. This is actually for Jim and Bob. Bruce Stevens wanted me to speak to you guys tonight.
Saw your email.
That's what he wants to know, because there is work session. Jim, did you get the email?
I did not see it.
Okay. He had me, he sent it to you, rerouted it to me. I sent it out to you on your town website. So I'll resend it again. But it's about the RSAs and the zoning changes coming up. I believe he wants to be available at the breakfast on Saturday to answer any questions. We are having a work session. Planning Board's having a work session tomorrow at 3 o'clock to go over all the zoning and RSA changes. State signed in to, the governor signed in late summer of this year. And we need to be compliant as a town, which we are not currently.
I want to acknowledge that the planning board is under no obligation to follow anything that the select board asks. But it would be great if you could consider streaming and recording that work session so that.
It's
people-
going to be.
Is it here?
Yes.
Are you,
Okay.
okay.
Is there a button for the planning board?
There is, just in the past, the planning board has not felt the need to do that with their work sessions, and they have specifically said that they are not under the authority of the.
Well, I
select board.
believe one time the unit was not working. I don't know what you call it. But
Okay.
prior to that, you brought that to their attention, and they're working very hard.
Okay,
But, yeah, oh, you do, good. And that also went out to Jim Hazard. So, anybody interested, especially in the town, that wants to be part of that work session, please come in. This is very important for the town. Thanks.
and then the public hearing for that is on Thursday, right?
Yes.
Okay, and that's at the normal 7 o'clock time?
7, right?
Yep.
Is that right?
7 on Thursday.
Does anyone have a public comment at this time?
Sorry, me again, Liz Freya, South Road. I wanted to ask, do we still not have a select board rep to the school?
Yes,
We do not.
you do.
Hi.
We do.
Yes.
Who is the select board?
think it's
rep
me,
to
isn't
the
it?
School.
It's me.
Oh, you
How
have,
you doing?
you haven't reported on it, so it
Nothing to
hasn't been
report.
reported on for like a year plus.
I
So
haven't
they
been here
just
for
had
year
a
plus, but you're okay.
meeting. When was it? Yesterday? Okay, so you haven't followed up yet. Okay. I also heard the KRT gentleman say that we went from Patriot to Avatar and that was a downgrade?
I didn't
Is
hear
there
downgrade.
That he said that,
It wasn't as advanced.
he said that
Said
specifically.
downgrade?
He said a
Yeah, he said it's not
downgrade.
as advanced, yeah.
So I was just wondering why we were going backwards or doing that.
So you know how you can have a Swiss Army knife that has 47 different functions?
Yes,
And then you can have one that has 8.
so we're going down to 8.
No, but just sometimes something that is more advanced is not necessarily more useful.
Okay, and is it clear? Is it working? Do we like it? Is it
And
wonderful?
And keep in mind,
Yes.
Liz, that's one person's perspective.
Right, yeah, well, and that's for what it's worth, yeah.
Yeah. For what it's worth. That's,
Yes,
that's
for what
the
it's
key
worth.
Some people like Zoom, some people
looking
like
at the
Teams.
source, right? But Julie, you think it's easier
Yeah.
to navigate and everything. Is it cheaper?
I don't know that it's necessarily cheaper. I know one of the reasons why we talked about using it and ended up going with it is that it is the same software as several other parts, as opposed to having 4 or 5 different softwares that all have to
So it
communicate with each
integrates
other.
much better.
Yes.
Okay, well, that's good to know. And my final question is, the new rec director has 10 years' experience. I just wondered where he came from, like where,
His experience was he's worked in Deerfield, he's worked in Colebrook? I think it was Claremont, that's what it was. He's also worked in Portsmouth and Dover,
all for, at rec department?
all in rec.
Oh, okay. All right,
And
thank
he
you.
has a master's degree in
Oh,
that,
Sounds good.
in that purview.
Also not a downgrade.
No, I'm just quoting the KRT. Thank you.
Jim Hager, Budget Committee. I just want to verify, those were the last 2 budgets of the operating budget, right? Mr. Chairman, I just have to say to the whole select board, town administrator, and all the department heads, I mean, thank you. My job, this is my first budget cycle being on the budget committee, made my job super easy. People came in, I think they heard the message. I didn't hear cuts, I heard department heads who came in here with reasonable budgets. You guys did a great job, and I just, Mr. Chairman, a lot of it, leadership, thank you. And I just really want to recognize it. I know a lot of people complaining about their taxes, but I think when they go to the hearing in February and they see what the 2026 budget looks like, it'll be an indication of the really good work that this group has done and the department heads have done, as well as, and then hopefully next November, they'll see that change as well. So I just want, again, I want to recognize and thank you. We did start off early on saying we were going to collaborate together, and you did a fabulous job. Thank you.
Well,
Thank
I
you.
think on behalf of all the board, the entire board, it's much appreciated. It's been a challenge. It's been tough, but I appreciate that very much.
I would say reasonable and responsible. I think the department heads did a very good job, and I'm very pleased with where we are right now.
So just because we've approved all the budgets now, we are coming in about $350,000 less on this year's operating budget than we were on last year's operating budget. So we hit our 0% increase.
Well, we still have one more to go because it's pending.
I don't think it's gonna go up by 350.
No.
So we hit that mark.
But that's not a correct number, because
Well,
we took
We still have warrant
$100,000
articles,
of
too, yeah.
road maintenance out of
Right.
one budget that we have to
Put back.
fund somewhere.
But
Well, no, but we haven't done any of the warrant articles yet.
Yeah.
But, and again,
Current.
but again, the goal was a level funded operating budget, which even if you add the roads back in, we have
Right.
done.
exactly, yeah. So I think that makes it,
Round of applause for
yeah,
the,
that makes it
yeah.
a reasonable way to conclude. We are going to go into non-public for legal tonight. So again, thank you everyone for coming.
good night, everyone.
I'll take a motion.
Motion? No, go into non-public?
Second?
Under which, oh, for legal?
Legal.
Yeah. Buddy?
Aye.
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 Andy? Aye. And I'm an aye. Okay, why don't we take 5?
I'll come shut it off, buddy.